Hi Sebastian in Singapore. This is your friend Vikat Strelo in Germany on Lake Constance. Congratulations for your anniversary. Practicing 20 years Hildegard of Bingens medicine in Singapore. Hildegard blessed us with 10 visionary books on Christian spirituality, theology, cosmology, music, and even medicine and nutrition. After decades of research and 35 years of experience, I want the best of my knowledge put into this video, combining Hildegard of Bingens' visionary medicine with the latest results of medical science in order to cure the incurable disease of today. And I'm ringing for you now the bell of love, so we are united through the universe. We are here in front of this pond, and in the pond is duckweed. You see those green little plants, and they have a small radioactivity to stimulate our immune system. This duckweed elixir is a little green plant, and it's the food for ducks. But it is very important because it has a slightly radioactivity to stimulate our immunity to fight cancer. And how could Hildegard in the 12th century have an elixir against cancer? New scientific findings and studies are proving that Hildegard was totally right in fighting the cancer cells in the blood, not in the body. And that's why she has this concept of duckweed elixir. Additional to the duckweed, she has the ginger, and she has cinnamon, and she adds galanga. All those spices are coming from Asia. And today we know that those spices are much more important and much more effective than all the chemotherapy from today. Which means the chemotherapy is very, very dangerous and killing the patient. His hair is falling out. He's losing his life, and the cancerous cells are surviving in the blood. Today we know that the cancer who grows in the body has blood vessels, and the blood vessels are there for his nourishment. But he's also sending cancerous cell into the blood, and also cancerous stem cell, and they're swimming in the blood. And as long they are in the blood, you cannot treat the blood with surgery, not with chemotherapy, not with radiation. And they try to kill the cancerous cell with chemotherapy, double doses, 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times, nothing works. But if you take ginger, and if you take galanga, and if you take cinnamon, they are dead immediately. They are going into a stage of apoptosis, which means cell death or suicide. And this is why Hildegard's duckweed elixir is so important, because all those ingredients are in that duckweed elixir. Chestnuts are very powerful against any kind of weaknesses and immune deficiency, such as cancer, AIDS, or Lyme disease. Chestnuts look like a little brain, and that's why Hildegard recommends them for an empty brain, which means they are good against dementia and Alzheimer's disease. And it's also good for the treatment of the brain in case you cannot sleep, because chestnuts contain gamma-aminobutyric acids, and this is a neurotransmitter, very powerful tranquilizer to calm the brain and muscle relaxation. This plant is actually a fern. It's called Scolopendrium asclepium, and it's one of our very best universal remedy. We take that for the detoxification of the liver. So if you have a liver which is damaged, you can repair this damage by taking this remedy. You can prepare this elixir yourself very easily. You take the leaves and dry them and make a little powder. And then you cook this powder in wine. And then you add some honey and cook again. And then you add some cinnamon and some piper longum, those long peppers, and cook a third time. Then you separate it and put it in the same bottle, and then you have your elixir. This elixir you take 3 times a day, before and after every meal. This elixir is very effective for people who have a bronchitis or a chronic cough or even asthmatic. On the other hand, it's a remedy for the liver. And the liver is working together with the lung, so it supports the lung with energy. And any disease, which are lung disease, you can support with Scolopendrium elixir. It is very effective even for people who have no hormone. Like we had a young girl and she had hormones like an 80-year-old grandmother, couldn't have a baby. So we did in bloodletting, and after that she took that elixir, and 2 months after she was pregnant. The most surprising effects are for people who have a total burnout, have no hormones, and they can support this by Scolopendrium elixir. What you see here is spelt. Spelt is the oldest grain on earth. It has never been touched and hybridized, never mutations are being done, and nothing like genetically modified food. We take this spelt to heal every disease. 90% of all our healing successes are based on spelt. We get all the essentials from spelt. We get proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and trace minerals. It is very interesting to study the ingredients of spelt, which are anti-inflammatory, antioxidants, and also anti-cancer. We have in spelt everything what we need to protect ourselves from diseases. And it is very important that spelt doesn't cause any allergies. So we have today so many wheat allergies, celiac and all those kinds of allergies, and you can all treat them with spelt because spelt does not contain an amino acid which is present in wheat and which causing allergy, and it's absent in spelt. Once a year, every Hildegard patient makes a cure with absinthium elixir. What you see here, this plant is actually vermouth, and in the springtime you take the leaves and make a juice and pour it in wine and honey and cook it and sieve it, and then you have your own elixir. This elixir is good for the circulation, the blood circulation of all organs, especially kidneys, stomach, and all the arteries. So when something bitter flows through the arteries are becoming humid and the arteriosclerotic plaques are dissolved. So this is the best cure to protect yourself against arteriosclerosis, heart attack, and stroke. We are here in Herb Garden with Hildegard's most important cure, bearwurz, pear, and honey, containing 4 anti-inflammatory roots like galanga, licorice roots, and savory to cure the human microbiome. Today we know that the human microbiome, so far totally unknown in modern medicine, is so powerful that it can control every part of our body, every cell, every organ, the brain, the bones, the heart, the liver, kidneys, lungs, and skin, as well as neurological diseases like migraine, Alzheimer's, anxiety, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, and depression. The discovery of this system by Hildegard of Bingen is one of the greatest achievements in the history of medicine, because now we can cure 20,000 autoaggressive diseases which has been incurable today. Today the human microbiome is heavily destroyed by junk food, stressful lifestyle, and drugs such as cortisone, antibiotics, painkillers, and genetically modified food. Intestinal damage can be restored with the so-called golden Hildegard cure, as well with prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics. Without intestinal restoration, a cure is not possible. It's also very important to use a diet based on Hildegard spelt, fruits and vegetables, as well as transformation of psychological risk factors into spiritual healing forces. Dear Sebastian, my dear Hildegard friends all over the world, there is so much more to say about Hildegard's medicine, and we are always in progress to improve the remedies. I've just discovered a remedy, it's called heart wine forte, for people who have a heart insufficiency. As you know, this is the most killing disease on earth, and there is nothing in modern medicine to protect the people from heart attack and stroke. If we have this remedy, you can protect yourself, have a wonderful life, and enjoy your days with Hildegard of Bingen.